That Lord Frost says the reason why we have to hurry up and do this thing that he's trying to do today is essentially, unless you're hearing it differently, in which case you know what to do, it's all going too well for the island of Ireland. The protocol is going too well for the island of Ireland, both halves, both bits, the big bit and the little bit, the north and the south. Listen to this again. Bloke from the Federation of Small Business, some Herbert called Lyons, and then Frost. This is incredible. Why are you doing this mad thing that we've been trying to work out all morning? Answer, as our callers told us, and I should have paid more attention. It's because it's all going grand for us, James. And kudos to me for getting through nearly 2 hours of broadcasting, talking largely about Ireland without using the word grand until this point. Have another listen, and listen to Frost, particularly at the end, OK? Here we go.
What would worry me is that you get a sort of two-speed UK, where different things are going to happen in Northern Ireland to the rest of GB. And I think that will put pressure on the union, inevitably, because talking to my members in Northern Ireland, they are increasingly trading north-south. Yeah. And that will weaken the links with GB. I think that's inevitable.
Yeah, well, the key, regardless of your politics, in economics, the important thing is that incentives do work. And if you start to have a new system that incentivises business to behave in a different way, then business will respond to those incentives. And if you're saying, Martin's saying this incentives is to go, should we say, north-south, as opposed to Northern Ireland to the rest of the UK, then eventually, if you leave that in place, that will have an impact on the economy.
Just to add on one of those points, the trade diversion point, I mean, it definitely is happening. We're definitely seeing supply chains being reordered quite quickly. Trade between Northern Ireland and Ireland has gone up a lot in both directions. That's clear from our figures and from Irish figures. People do respond very quickly. Businesses do respond very quickly to incentives. And incidentally, the other area where you see this is trade movements from Ireland across GB into the rest of the EU, where the land bridge, so-called, has kind of collapsed in the first 9 months of this year. People have responded very quickly to that incentive. So that's one reason why we can't wait very long to solve this problem. Things are happening, and it isn't just theoretical.
So the problem, as described, is the fact that Ireland and Northern Ireland are flourishing under the terms of the protocol. That's the problem he's trying to solve. It's going too well for Northern Ireland and Ireland. That's incredible. It's not often I'm lost for words. And I'm not lost for words now, obviously, because, you know, the emergency tape will kick in. It'll be Steve Allen talking about Christmas trees. But but that's quite remarkable. And we go back to Belfast, where it'll probably be the last word on this. What's going on, Eamon?
Not much, James. I think you've hit the nail on the head.
That was mad, though, right? I couldn't believe my ears.
Well, I got an inkling of it, James, when the protocol was first announced. The CEO of the Industrial Development Board in Northern Ireland released a statement saying he couldn't believe how many, US sort of foreign companies were inquiring about Northern Ireland, how the protocol was going to work, how they could maybe, have access to the European market and the British market at the same time, and it was all going to be great. And then all of a sudden stopped, and then I realised that he was, his department was controlled by a DUP minister.
I've lost the phone line. You got your main point across, but I'm going to squeeze in one more before we move on at 12 noon. We'll talk again, but it was just the phone line lost us there. Ian's in Coates in Gloucestershire. Ian, what would you like to say?
Yeah, hi. I haven't called before. Hello.
Welcome aboard. Better late than never.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd phoned earlier before you put on the bit about Mr. Frost. It is exactly that. He is deliberately trying to make it difficult for the people in Northern Ireland, so it has to be as difficult for the people in Coates and Cirencester and Birmingham and everywhere else in the UK, because they can't allow it to Northern Ireland to flourish beyond the rest of the UK, because it'll expose the idiocy of Brexit, for want of a better word.
Well, and it makes it... Well, I can't see any other alternative. Phone lines have been open for 2 hours. I didn't think we'd find that clip to sum it up quite so concisely and so neatly. But why are you doing this, Lord Frost? Because if we don't, Northern Ireland is going to be a shining beacon of the benefits of customs union membership while still nominally being part of the UK. That's the only answer we've got, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's tragic.
You can say that again. Ian, thank you, mate. You brought me in bang on time as well. That's an astonishing achievement for a debutant. I've been doing this for nearly 20 years and I get the timings wrong almost every 15 minutes, but not today. No. Bang on the money. What are we going to do next? Do you want to talk about shortages in every sector in the country, pretty much? Or would you like to talk about Paul McCartney and the Rolling Stones? You can tell by my voice which one I prefer.
On your radio, on Global Player, and
Play LBC.
leading Britain's conversation. This is LBC.
From Global's newsroom at midday, at least 35 people